got my car up on jack stands, 3 notches up. This driveway's on a slight incline down, so it kind of makes the car level when I do that. I have an oil leak coming from somewhere. Upon further inspection, it looks like the upper oil pan gasket is now leaking. Here's my new headers, and that's pretty much about where I have an exhaust leak. I went to the muffler shop and he said my exhaust is leaking there, and it's rattling up against this cross member really bad, but he said he's not going to fix that until I get my gasket fixed, and I have some asbestos that I have to cut out. I'm going to form my own gasket. I also have a small coolant leak that's dripping down here and basically burning off. That's coming from the coolant outlet. This area, where when I put the new outlet gasket on, it's bubbling up right between, let's just say, this gasket and the head. There's a small little space there, so I'm hoping if I tighten this down a little bit more, maybe it'll get rid of that. If not, then I'm screwed and I'll have to replace that gasket. That is going down, leaking, going down around there, and dripping and going below the header and basically burning off, because these headers get super hot. I already burned the crap out of my arm. I don't know how well you can see that. I was messing around with the O2 sensor, making sure that that was nice and connected, and touched the header with my arm. About right there. Let's just say something like that. And sizzle. Toasty skin. Along with my new header and downpipe that I got installed, which look really pretty, I also went and got new exhaust all the way from the catalytic converter back. That's my old catalytic converter, but everything after that is new, including the muffler. I had 3 pretty good sized holes all along just about each of those sections, and the muffler was not even connected. It was completely rusted around the pipe that connects to the muffler, so the muffler wasn't even connected. Well, yeah. So I got an aftermarket muffler installed. He said it was an aftermarket muffler for a Ford Probe, and I said that'll work. He said that's all I had, and I said that'll work. So that's what we got. I got to look inside my catalytic converter. He said that was really good. No problems there. I was really happy about that, because everybody knows how expensive catalytic converters can be. You can get a cheap one, a cheap aftermarket catalytic converter for, I don't know, under $100, something like that. But it's the installation labor that really gets you, because you have to take it to a muffler shop. My other side was so messed up that he had to cut it off, and basically he welded everything together. And that's where we stand. He also fixed my exhaust hangers. Basically burned that side right there, and then hit it a couple times until it would fit up into the hanger. So you can see that one, that side is straight and that side is kind of bent over a little bit. And this is where everything is hitting. It's hitting my cross member right here. I don't know how well I'll be able to get a shot of that, but there's no room there. And every time I accelerate or go anywhere, it makes a really loud ting sound over and over. You know, it's really annoying. These cheap eBay headers are what's really killing me here. That flange is way off. Now, how somebody could be off by 10 to 15 degrees and not even notice is beyond me. So you get what you pay for. They are really cheap, really horrible craftsmanship, probably based on speed manufacturing instead of quality. It's like everything else, they're probably made in China. I hope to God those aren't made in the USA, because I would be ashamed. The welds and everything, those look good. But what's the point of having good welds when you are 15 degrees off on your flange? Resonator, it's probably about half the length of the OEM resonator. You can see that pipe is a lot longer. All the welds are pretty good. I'm happy with it. No leaks from there. And there's no leaks from there either. He said I did a really good job on that one. So that made me really happy to hear. And the only thing I really have to worry about is getting this thing replaced. So that's what we're up to. You can see how high I have my wheels off the ground there. It's pretty high off. So my jack stands are on the 3rd notch, because I'm on an incline going down. You're supposed to do all this on level ground, but I really don't have much of a choice here. And I've now switched to working on cardboard. It's a lot better. Oh my gosh. You can just slide right in and out using cardboard. And it's probably a lot better on the back of your clothes too. Alright, here's the gasket material that I have. It's a Mr. Gasket, just regular asbestos white sheet. Part number 77. And muffler and tailpipe sealant. This is supposedly some really good stuff for high heat applications. Item number 80335 MTK-1. And just for future reference, the eBay headers come with 9/16 bolts. Okay, I've removed the 3 bolts and just have this dangling loose. I've removed the gasket from the header, and as you can see from the burn marks, it was leaking out in multiple places. Not really that bad on this runner. On that runner, definitely. It looks like at least 3 places all around there, and I'm going to contribute that to the off angle that the flange is. See, it's really burnt on the bottom, and the multi-layer gasket split. But it kind of looks like there was some type of adhesive put between the layers that's supposed to squish out in those holes, and it is missing from here. Basically, where it's split, there is material missing that is everywhere else, and it's missing from those areas. And in an effort to try and save some of this, I will be doing something like that. So I've got plenty of extra in case I need to redo it or use it for another project. So get a marker out, trace it, cut it with a utility knife. For those of you who've never made your own, like me, this is the first time I'm ever making my own. We'll see how this goes. Asbestos sheet and exhaust muffler sealant. Traced out my gasket with the pencil. It's not too bad. And now to cut it out with the utility knife. There's my gasket. Looks pretty close. If not exact. I think that's exact, because you can't even tell that's behind it. So that's ready to be put on the car, and this is compressed asbestos. Think of fiberboard, like you're doing a throttle body gasket or something like that, and times 10. That is some really tough stuff to get through. I had to take a utility knife and basically use a utility knife 1 notch at a time and saw through it, being very careful not to make any stray cuts. So we're going to put some sealant on both sides and install it. Okay, so now just bolt it up and squish it in there. This sealant right here starts drying real quick, and it'll start drying into a flaky paste, and I imagine it will start hardening up and curing to a real solid shape. That's just from what I've observed so far. I imagine that's how it's going to react. It's going to become a hard compound, and I tightened all the bolts up as best as I could, as tight as I could, and that's basically it. Now, if I have any leaks, hopefully they're not going to be here. They're going to be somewhere down over there. And now I'm hoping tomorrow I can go to the muffler shop and get that fixed. As this rotor was spinning, let's say it goes about here, and it spins this way, and this contact point hits the contact point, or this rotor top, the cap hits the contact point and sparks. And that direction sparks, and that's what delivers the spark to each wire. But on the back of here, this was broken, and it was rattling around as it was spinning, and that was causing fluctuation in the time. Got that fixed, got it timed, took it to a mechanic, he timed it, looks good, but still getting the vibration. So it's one little culprit down, and let's see what else we got. I'm guessing it's going to be a EGR sensor and maybe a solenoid, PRC solenoid or something like that. So we'll see, just a little at a time.